It always comes to this. More nice. Hello there guys, here to do yet again another tattoo progress update. Where I last left off, I had my head redone, the red on the top here for the second time. It looks a lot better now. Again, it's got this kind of a browny look to it because of the brown hair that's growing through it right now. I'm going to be shaving it tomorrow. I usually will wait close to a week before I shave. I probably could have shaved this morning, but I'll do it tomorrow, no big deal. And then when I show off my head again, you guys can see the color of it more clearly. It is pretty close to my neck now. I could see that just before the hair had grown in as far as it has now. It's also incredibly solid everywhere except the front. There's still a little bit of patchiness. But again, I'm not looking to smooth that over completely anyway, because it kind of goes with the front. So I may do a third little pass on the front here, but the rest of it on top is pretty well done now. I had another session with Rick last week. We did this back area here. It all healed up great. That pink and everything stayed in, but it wasn't much of a session, obviously. We only did like 45 minutes that day. So if it was even that much. But we did have a session yesterday and we got a little more done. Again, Rick was still not feeling like working a whole lot yesterday. He's had some personal stuff going on. I'm not going to get into that. The point of the matter is we got a good chunk done. So we did all this here. So there's green and blue and purple and pink and different tones of yellow and orange, and there's some what's called bone white in there, so it's like kind of like a brown whitish color. I really like the depth that we're getting with this, and having the top and the bottom part like at least like partially finished. You can kind of see the rest of the creature better too. I'll put it in a video that will show it off better because I don't want to talk with my arm up this whole video, but I really like how everything's pulling apart with the colors. Again, this bounces off that red background really, really nice. This is more or less going to be the color tone for the creature's appendages, the tentacles and the claws, etc. So yeah, there'll be a lot more of that kind of a color tone in there. And if this dark purple that he used works really well in here, we're going to bring it up at the top too, just to create a little bit more dimension. Again, we are still experimenting. We haven't tried every color yet. We've tried a lot of colors, but like with every new part of this, Rick wants to try different colors for different parts of the monster. And I think by the time we get to the end of it, it could be a thing like what we did with the chest, where when we got to the end of the chest piece, we hit everything again and kind of decided what the final look would be. You can go back and watch old videos of the chest piece coming together, and different parts of it were different colors almost at different times, because once you have the areas lightened up anyway, it's kind of easy to change the colors of them. The beginning, it was like, well, let's see which tones work and then we'll move forward with it. But once we got rolling on that, it was like, okay, well, let's make it one creature, right? So like you can see it has like a flow to it now. At first, the colors were kind of all over the place, and a lot of people didn't really understand that. They still don't. Some people still don't like the chess piece. I'll never win those people over. It's just too strange for some people's sensibilities. That being said, I do have a session with Rick coming up next week. we've got some finishing touches he wants to do on the bat on my head. So I think that'll be the 10th session on my head in the last couple months. And yeah, he just wants to do some more with the opaques again real quick, a little bit more in the white, I believe, and maybe a few like dark highlights too. So that'll be real quick. That's only gonna take like probably 20 minutes to half an hour. So I asked him if we could do more on the chest that day as well. So give the arm a week off, hit the arm again in a few weeks here. I'll get into that in just a second, but there's just this one spot on the brain that I think was just not taking it as well. I don't think that it was ever fully saturated, like not so like we may have done it, but like to get it saturated, sometimes it requires more work. For example, there was one spot in this tooth here. It's still a little like it's still a little more translucent than the other one, but that took like 3 goes, whereas the other one went in pretty well right away. It's weird, like different parts of the body will develop different scar tissue or whatever, or you'll bleed more in some areas than others, and then you'll have to do a little more work in those areas. Like I said, with my forehead area, that area like bleeds a ton. So it's no shock that it's the most translucent part of this. Same as the chin, we had to do that, I don't even know how many times. I think we did 8 or 9 times before my chin was solid. And to get it solid black took many times, and then to get that red in there the way it is, that took, I think it was 3 times. We hit it 2 or 3 times. But yeah, some things just take more work than others. So yeah, I told him the only thing that's bugging me about the chest piece right now is the brain. So if we can give that a little bit of love, that'll be great. So hopefully we get both of those done next week. And that, even then, that should only take an hour to 2 at the most, and then we'll be back on the arm. And when we come back to hit the arm again, we'll be bridging this gap here and coloring in all this stuff here. So from this stretch, hopefully we'll be able to get these connected. And from there, I think it's going to just be, yeah, just adding more and more color and buffing up the black in some places. Like when we hit in here, some of the black will need to be touched up on. Some of it took really well. Some parts didn't take as well. Some of these little lines were only ever done with the black gold at the beginning when he ghost lined the whole thing. And so that's not like fully shaded in there. Brick was doing all the black for quite a while and everything. And then we got to a point of saturation where I think he felt it was better. Time was better spent just getting to the color parts, and we can just get the bits of black that need to be done as we progress from here. Kind of like just procedurally get there. Other than that, I have another session with Terry coming up. I think it's tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or Thursday afternoon. I'm not really sure. I'll check right after this. Then I'll put a little note in here. We're going to be hitting the back of the neck tattoo that I got done by Alex Rose. So people have seen that enough. I'm not going to turn around and show it off again right now. It's looking the same as it did roughly a week after it was finished. So again, these things, they don't really fade after that point. It's just like, how saturated do you want it to be? And then that's the amount of work you have to put in there. Again, this tattoo here, this moon was done 3 years ago. We've done 3 passes on it, but it never changed after. Like it was like, okay, we had a dull moon, we had a semi-dull moon, then we did the 3rd pass and we got a bright moon, but that moon hasn't faded back any since. It kind of leaves, like, it kind of stays where you left it. Now, I could probably make it even brighter, and I might do another pass on the moon here maybe October or something. Just a quick 10 minutes, hit it again, see how bright it can go. That thing was always like intended as just my little experiment of white on black anyway, just to see what was doable. That was the first try we had working over black. And so I think it's kind of a waste if I don't see just how bright it can go. And it's not because I need to touch it up. See, the reason why I'm hesitant to hit this thing again, and the reason why I'm always hesitant to hit it again, is because I'm annoyed by the observations of people who don't know what the hell they're looking at. Like, if I post this tattoo touched up or hit again, done for the 4th time, the preconception that people have is that it's faded and that it needs it. No, you can see it pretty fucking clearly that it doesn't need it. If I did it, it would be because I wanted to see what would happen. All of this stuff is healing up great. All of this is going on a year old now. I was looking into this. This is all the white on black, black on black we did with my face was back in August and September of last year. So it's not going anywhere. It's staying exactly as how we left it. Now, I talk a lot like I know all the answers. I know everything. I know I can come across that way. But I'm learning as I go. And my conclusions are informed by facts, not just shit that idiots say online. So, like, I wouldn't have been as confident in doing these things if I didn't have prior experience of things working out before I did it. So, like, I wouldn't be, for example, putting white on black and black on my face if this moon proved not to work. So all of these decisions that I've made are for the long term. They're not for the short term. Yeah, so now that that's said, I think that's going to be about an hour and a half to 2 with Terry on the piece, on the Alex Rose piece. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much longer than that, but I don't think it's going to be short either. It took Alex about 3 hours to do that piece. There's a lot of detail in it. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen here. There's a lot of little spots, so we'll have to use small mag groupings. And yeah, it'll look a lot better afterwards. Alex, when he did that, was not using his own tattoo machine. He did not use his preferred inks, and he'd never done a white or black on black tattoo before. He just did as he was told, and it worked. It's held up. It's been nearly a year. He did that in October, so we're just about August, and it hasn't changed any. Now that said, second passes, when people here come to the shop to get white on black work done, we get quite a few inquiries now, and the deal is I will not let it happen here at the shop unless they agree to do a second pass on the white. We don't talk about a second pass on the black, but you will be doing a second pass on the white, or else it's not going to happen. Because I don't want that representing what's possible with white on black. I don't want our shop putting out anything that isn't pretty well perfect for that, because so many people out there are doing it wrong, in my opinion, or not at all, and it gives it a bad name. So I have a very high standard for what's acceptable with that, and it's a mandatory second pass on white. Third will get you high points, and it'll get you that day one fresh look. Like that hasn't worked on in 6 months, but it looks like it's day one. Like some idiot would be watching this and thinking, wow, that's gonna fade when it settles though. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. Anyway, to make a quick note, I got my Instagram back. I was given an apology from Instagram. I don't know why they took me down. I don't think that I'm going to stay up. I think it's going to keep happening. I think that some clowns just keep reporting my account. Fuck those guys. Fuck everything about those guys. I wasn't really like, I was happy to see it back, don't get me wrong, but there was this in the back of my mind thinking, it's gonna go down again anyway, like, because it's not based on things that I'm saying, posting, or doing on Instagram. So if there's nothing I can do about it, then there's no sense being happy that it's back, because the algorithm's just gonna get tricked again. I'll put up the apology that Instagram sent me so that people can see that I'm not kidding here. Or I'm sure there might be someone out there that's wondering, like, what is Remy doing that they keep deactivating his account? No, this is where I said sometimes the haters win. And they're winning here because there's a lot of people who've been sick of seeing me for a long time. I think there's tattooers who don't want me spreading this message. There's the people who don't like blackout tattoos. I think there's all kinds of people who have reported my stuff and continue to. I seen, while I was down, I got posted on some big tattoo pages, and there were a lot of people complaining, I'm so tired of seeing this guy. This guy again, the work's cool, but the guy's an asshole. Yeah, fuck you. I'm not going anywhere. So it doesn't matter if you take my Instagram page down. You're going to keep seeing my work anyway, unless you get off social media. And it's not because I'm an attention seeker. It's because what I'm doing is pushing boundaries, and it's breaking new grounds for other people. And there are a lot of people who are inspired by this work too. There's a lot of people out there that they feel like they're going to get a new lease on life because they never knew what to do with their old tattoos, and now they don't have to go through 75 sessions of fucking laser 6 weeks apart. So whether you like what I'm doing or not, it's useful, and that's why it's trending. It's useful, and some of it's pretty too. Some people really like the rose sleeve. That thing fucking trends. Just like I knew it would. It was a pop song. I said that back when I talked about this sleeve. I knew that it would be that popular, palatable, white on black project that even your mom could like. You know what I mean? That's what I was going for with that. And I wanted it to be as clear, uncongested, and readable as possible, so that anyone, even someone who can barely see, can see that that tattoo's there. Because everyone will make an argument that it's not very clear because it's white on black or black on black, if it's not as crystal clear as any tattoo you've ever done. So this one was always meant to be my showpiece for, or my sell to the world that this works. And I don't think a lot of tattooers are liking it. I think that they're upset that it's not fading, and they're making excuses, and they're saying I'm touching it up all the time, and they're saying anything they can to reckon with the fact that they're wrong. And as far as to even try and report my content, try and trick Instagram's algorithm. But it doesn't matter. No matter what happens to that page, I'm going to keep putting these videos out. I'm on my TikTok, I'm going to keep spreading this message. So it doesn't really matter to me whether that page goes down again for the fucking 4th time. You'd think that there would be something in the algorithm that would trigger now that would be like, oh, this guy's getting false reports. Let's not honor those reports. But I don't think that it's that sophisticated, so don't be too surprised if the next time I'm talking to you guys, my account is down again. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.